today we open up Autograph Alliance Show 27 Fallout. This is actually a trade I made from the original item I received on Tomwashere. Hi everyone! Tomwashere, back at it with another unboxing video, and man, it has been crazy the last few weeks. I've been going to haunts in and around the Pittsburgh area. It's been taking up a lot of my weekends. Went to the Rolling Stones on Monday. You can check out those vlogs. But this is something I've actually had in my possession for about a week, maybe even more so now. This is the trade I made from Autograph Alliance Show 27. Now, Autograph Alliance Show 27 had some heavy hitters in there. Brian Calloway, who runs Autograph Alliance, loaded that up with some major gets. The main, I think, piece was a Sylvester Stallone 11x14 Rocky sign thing, which those Stallone autographs are pricey. I mean, they're expensive. But he had a lot of different autographs in there, and I actually was going to a haunt. Had a friend, Daniel, that actually we run the Pennsylvania Autograph Collectors Association together to see what, because he was in and I was in. Since I was out at a haunt, I didn't get to actually watch the live show. And what I pulled with all of these options of these things, like I think they did Al Pacino, Carlito's Way. There were quite a few things in this particular show, but it was 40 boxes. Some of those boxes don't exactly meet the same price point that you're paying to jump into this show. But it's gambling. I mean, he's got to make his money too. I understand this. This is autograph gambling at its finest. And it's great when you get a get. Like, I can't remember offhand. I know someone got the Stallone. That's a get. That is a major get. You get Al Pacino signed Carlito's Way. That's a get. But some of the other, I do know they have a lot of wrestling autographs in there. And the only downside, I'm a big fan of wrestling. They got the belt on the wall. You got Flair behind me here on the Royal Rumble poster. So I'm a big fan of wrestling, but not all wrestling autographs are created equal. And some of the wrestling autographs that I've seen pulled from Autograph Alliance, I've also seen at my local con of people that have visited for like $20 or $30 or whatever. Or I could get them at my local con for like $20 or $30. But that's not with like a Beckett cert, so it's a little extra there. But the idea is there's a wide range of things that you could get in these boxes. So you're gambling. And the first time I played with Autograph Alliance, I got a James McAvoy. It wasn't one of the spotlight items, but a pretty cool get. I ended up trading that for actually 4 pieces. And then I ended up trading 2 of the pieces for other things that I've been kind of long sought after, and the other 2 pieces I may end up trading or selling or keeping. I haven't decided just yet. It's been a crazy time the last couple of weeks. But this one here, in show 27, I got Morgan Fairchild. Now, Morgan Fairchild was she's still alive. She's still alive, right? Yeah, she's still alive. I think she actually looks pretty good. But yeah, Morgan Fairchild was was one of those, like, in her day that had she was in some stuff. She was in a good bit of stuff. Now, if someone put a gun to my head and said, name something Morgan Fairchild's been in, I'll be honest, I don't know if I could. At the moment, I know I've seen stuff that she's been in. I've seen her cameo on something or her show up for a role on something. And maybe she was on one of those shows that like my parents watched when I was a little kid, like a Knots Landing or a Dallas, or she was on one of those shows. But it's like, I missed the boat on Morgan Fairchild. I know she was like this is probably an unfair comparison, but like a Pamela Anderson of her day. One of those like Farrah Fawcett type thing. Like she's a good looking woman for her day. Not saying she's not a good looking woman now. She's older. She's still good looking. I just remember I just can't remember anything I've seen her in. So, needless to say, getting her in a, one-piece kind of thing. It's not from like a movie role or something like that. It's one of those like model shots. I have a wife and I have kids, and they have questions, you know what I mean? They're going to be like, why are you hanging this on the wall? And it would be somebody that I wouldn't necessarily hang on my wall because she was not of my era. But then again, she's not famous enough to be like if I had a sign saying Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe's not of my era, but she's an icon. So, I'd hang a sign Marilyn Monroe on the wall, or I wouldn't necessarily hang a sign Morgan Fairchild on the wall. She hasn't done anything that that I would be considered like, oh, I'm just a giant fan of this show or this movie or this something that would justify me putting Morgan Fairchild on the wall. Plus, it's a situation of, you have younger kids, you have a wife who would wonder why you would do such a thing. There's a lot of things that it just doesn't work out that way. Now, with Autograph Alliance, you're getting 3 types of things when it comes to some of these shows. You're getting wrestling autographs. You're getting high-end spotlight-style autographs, huge hit autographs. And the ones that are in between are kind of a mixed bag, in the sense that sometimes you'll get somebody like a James McAvoy, who, is guys in movies, guys starred in films, many films, that's a good get. And then you get someone like a Morgan Fairchild who'd be tough to get proper value out of, because the whole hook is that ideally when I jump into these shows, I want something I want to keep. I don't want to trade anything. Everybody's, I'm not looking to flip anything. I'm a collector after all, but I want to collect things I like. But I love the gamble of mystery boxes, so I will take that gamble. Just a matter of, if you get something like a Morgan Fairchild, oh man, this is going to be a tough, because it's a niche market. You don't know who you're going to, find that's going to be like, ooh, Morgan Fairchild in a provocative one-piece outfit. That's like, I'll trade for her and I'll hang her on my wall. I saw someone end up in this last show get a Pamela Anderson signed item, but it was from a Playboy shoot. She's completely naked. That's also a niche thing. Don't get me wrong. Pamela Anderson was in my formative years when she was in her prime. But at the same time, those questions that I would have had with Morgan Fairchild would be far, I would be kicked out of my home. It would be hanging on the doghouse wall because I would be kicked out of my home if I tried to put naked Pamela Anderson signed on the wall. So, it is a mixed bag with Autograph Alliance, but sometimes you do get a big hit. I am 0 for 2 in that department. While I do like the James McAvoy one, the Morgan Fairchild one was not as good. So I was actively trying to move this for anybody that could give me an offer. And I put it out to everybody. And I was getting a lot of wrestling stuff in return, which is fine, well and good. I have no problem with wrestling stuff. But I picked up my son wanted a Rey Mysterio 11x17, and I picked up a Scott Hall 11x17 at Steel City Con from the autograph table. They've both been there previously for $20 a piece. So, considering I paid more for this, trading for, say, a Scott Hall or Rey Mysterio or some of the other wrestlers I've seen and met that I might not have autographs from didn't seem like the best thing. So I did want something from the entertainment world. And what I traded for is, it's really for my son. My son would collect this more than I would. Because I have a weird thing that I'm an adult now. And, it's kind of like, and I realize I'm getting old. That thing when you're pushing 40, you're kind of like getting there. Where you're like, do I need a person's autograph that's younger than me? Maybe if I'm a giant fan of them. But then it's like, do I need a child's autograph? Like somebody that was a child star, I guess you could say. Like, do I need that? No, not necessarily. But my son, who's a big fan of this show, would want something like that. And he's of an age where they're older than him, so that is well and dandy good for him that he would do it. So when I did get an offer for this, I was like, my maybe that's the one to pull the trigger on, because it won't necessarily work for me, but it'll work for the boy. The boy's a big fan of the Netflix show Stranger Things. I'm a big fan of the Netflix show Stranger Things, and what I received is a Lucas, I think it's from season 1, a signed Stranger Things Funko Pop. For my Morgan Fairchild, which is pretty cool. It's definitely something that my son is going to have as part of his collection, and he will be thrilled to get it. What's up with the Stranger Things kids signing everything one name? Is that a Millie thing? Is that a Millie Bobby Brown thing where Millie signs her stuff one name and the kids were like, oh, we can do that. We'll just do that too. Because I've seen other signed Stranger Things stuff, and I think most of them, except for like the older kids, but I mean like the main group of kids all sign their stuff one name. And then Finn Wolfhard, who actually, my son has a giant 16 by 20, I think it's a season 2 poster where it has like Welcome to Hawkins, and it has like the giant creature kind of over there. It's signed by Finn Wolfhard, and he might have the worst signature since, say, like Matt Damon or Jonah Hill, where it's just like a squiggle. Now there's a little JSA sticker that says this is a squiggle, and to be honest, this is a first name squiggle as well. It is a funny business with autograph when you're buying people squiggles. But that is, that is what this is. And I think the actor's name is Caleb, and that's probably just Caleb on there. But JSA certed. I don't have enough signed Funko Pops. Myself only have one that the boy hasn't taken, and that's the Tom Berenger Jake Taylor here, which I'm a huge Major League fan, and Tom Berenger was terrific in that role, so I was happy to get that as part of a trade. But the Stranger Thing one will go right up to the boys' room, and that is it. That is the fallout from Autographed Alliance Show 27. Do you feel that I made a good trade? Would you have traded for something else? There wasn't really many options. Everybody had the same issues I had with Morgan Fairchild. Either that they didn't know her. The people that refused my trade, they didn't know her. They didn't know her enough to want to put her as part of their collection, or she was in a model-like pose and they have a wife who would ask them questions. All of those things apply to this. And then a few people had like wrestling autographs and stuff, which I almost traded for, to be honest. There's a couple people that offered something. I almost made a trade on that. But that'll wrap it up. Autograph Alliance Show 27. Let me know your thoughts on Autograph Alliance. Have you jumped in? Have you got one of like the spotlight major items? Because if you have, you've justified the price tag and then some. It's definitely worth, if you're jumping in and, you're jumping in for a certain amount of money and you get something that's worth 10-fold or 15-fold in certain circumstances, that's worth everything. But that'll wrap it up. Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you are new here, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to support me on Patreon like John Bailey did, you can do so. Link is in the description below. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt, you can do so at Spreadshirt. Oh, a t-shirt, sweatshirt, any type of shirt. Look at this activity right here. You can do so at Spreadshirt, as well as links to my eBay store, new Facebook page, Instagram, and Clubhouse. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and until the next unboxing video, we will see you soon. But until then, bye everyone.